There's this one story from many years ago that stuck in my brain. It was about time travel. The story went something like this. Before this guy travelled back in time, in passing he heard the news on the radio about the results of the election. The good, wise, sensible leader had been appointed. He had beaten off the dictatorial candidate that would have been so damaging for the country. The guy breathed a sigh of relief and continued on. Soon afterwards, the guy travelled back in time, because this is a time travel story. I don't really remember too much about the story, but one thing I remember was the guy was walking along a track in a forest. He was instructed to never step off the path, not to step on the forest floor, or that could alter future. But did he listen? No. He stumbled and stepped on something, maybe a butterfly, maybe it was just breaking off a small branch. Just a seemingly small, insignificant change that didn't really amount to too much. Anyway, the story continued, and eventually he returned to his own time, just before he left. Then he listened to the news report on the radio. There was significant change. The dictatorial candidate that was so bad for the country had come to the power and would rule the land. This small guy who made this change by stepping onto the forest floor had set in place changes that had altered history in a way that really did matter. What I take from this story is that what we do in life can have a much bigger impact than we could ever imagine, for good or evil. So often we think what we do in this life isn't really that significant, couldn't really change the lives of others, far less change history. We can feel pretty irrelevant and powerless. However, this story is an illustration of the importance that we have on others. Our impact, for good or bad, is really more significant than we could ever imagine. What you do in life has a bigger impact for good and evil than you can ever imagine. Your actions matter.